Hello guys, I talk about Generation 3, and this is a series that we have not really covered in a while. Okay, so basically this is like one of my older series I have never really covered yet as well here. But Generation 3, obviously has some of these, has some Pokemon that are actually pretty well. But actually, some of these Pokemon might actually be native to other regions as well here. Yeah. So basically, we're going over by the Pokédex number here, and yeah, Sceptile, all starters are extinct in the wild as well. Then we have the beginning Pokemon. So first is Poochyena and Mightyena. So Poochyena and Mightyena, Poochyena, um, in the games. So in Ruby Sapphire, found in only Route 101, 102, 103. However, in Emerald, the Pokemon will seem to have a cover a lot in the population. It is now found in routes 104, 110, 116, 117, 120, 121, 123, and Pearlburg Woods as well here. Poochyena is also found in the Grand Underground as well, and the Kitatami Road as well. So it is found in the DLC regions as well. However, Mightyena and Poochyena, I think, are still pretty common in their own region, as Mightyena is a very commonly found Pokemon alongside its evolutions as well here. And Emerald, it is found in several routes as well here. Here. Yeah, and also wherever Poochyena can be found, Mightyena can be found as well. But I don't think Mightyena is out of the woods yet, despite being a very common early game Pokemon as well. So near threatened we go. Then we have Renoon and Zigzagoon as well. So Zigzagoon is basically one of the most common Pokemon in all of hoenn. Okay, found on Route 101, 102, 103, 104, 110, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, 121, 123, and Pearlburg Woods. And so it is less common in Emerald for some reason. However, in the OS games, they are much more common again as well. Also, they are also found in Galar as well. So we have to consider that as well. Yeah. So we're talking about the Pokemon as a species, not the forms, which are considered subspecies as well, which could get their own entirely classified entire. And I'll probably do a whole separate video about subspecies like Hoennian form, and however, they are still found in a pretty wide range in the home region. Rhinoon, I think, is also found in a lot of the radar routes as well here. So it isn't as rare as other Pokemon as well. Also, it can be found in apparently Johto with the hoenn sound, but that's a post game feature. But I'm proud to say that Renoon is not endangered at all. Beautify and Dustox as well. So Wurmple is pretty common in the early routes of the game as well. 101, 102, 104, and Pearlburg Woods as well. Here, however, in Diamond and Pearl, they are actually pretty common. So they're found in Eternal Forest, routes 205, 206, all these routes, almost every single route, and wherever honey trees are here. Here. Yeah, even then, they're already found in Eternal Forest without, you know, yeah, Hard Gold and Soul Silver can be found. That could be found in Headbutt trees in Kanto as well. Okay, yeah, yeah, as well. So they are actually pretty common in two regions. They're not really found in any other regions as well. Yeah, Yeah, but either way, yeah, they are found in various parts of the regions as well. Yeah, of Gen and Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. They also found a few roots as well. I'll report them as weeds concerned for now. Yeah. Then we have Rudy Koro as well. So we're gonna get past the regional bug and talk about Rudy Koro evolution line as well. So in the also Sif Tree is also found in the potential version exclusives as well. But let's see if they have different Yeah. But Rotad, which is the first form that's found in Route 102 and 114, not a very good start for a Pokemon, as well. It's only found in two routes or two areas as well. Okay. Yeah. And it's not really native. It's actually native to Sealed for Max Raid Battle as well. But does that really count as well? Yeah. But is it more common in its Raider Evolution Rumble as well? Yeah. Yeah, nope, only on Route 114, but is it found in any other regions? It is actually found in X and Y on various parts of the region through surfing as well. And it's also found in. It's also found in Pokemon Sword and Shield as well. So it may be, but again, it may be in native Dale introduced as well here. Yeah, but yeah, Rumble and Nuzreef both exist in Sword and Shield as well. However, we don't know if they're native to Sword to Galar as well or they're introduced. I mostly assume that, most Pokemon are just native to the original region, well, with a few exceptions, obviously, as well. So that means Rudicolo and Siftree are not. Rudicolo as a line is not very common in its own region, has a very small range as well here. However, they are much more common in Galar and other regions, so I list them as vulnerable. Next, we have Siftree as well. So, Siftree as a Pokemon is one of the more unliked Pokemon as well, but it's mostly found in the same routes as well in Ruby as well. Yeah, and it's also found in Sword as well as a version exclusive as well. Yeah, Yeah, but other than that, as well. Also, they do have a 40% chance of being found in that area, but go to Route 112. Okay. Rotad and CDOT are only a 20% encounter, which it's meh, by the way. But there isn't really any games where Rotad and CDOT are not version exclusives either. As a, yeah, yeah, so I'll put Siftree as vulnerable as well. Then we have Taro and Swero. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if Swero and Taro have a very large range, but let's see as well here. So Taro is found in routes 114, 115, 116, and Petalburg Woods as well. So let's see how common they are in routes 104 as well. Is it a rare encounter or a common encounter as well? Yeah. So Taro is around a 10% encounter. So it's not very common in many of the routes it's found in as well. Only a 10% encounter. As for all versions as well, yeah, Route 116 as well. It can be found in obviously as well, which means that its home region is not very common either. Here, as Table is a 20% encounter on Route 116 as well. But is it found more common in other regions as well? That is the real question as well here as well. As it's not very common in its native region, but again, it's a bird Pokemon, so it could just not be found in its original region as well. So is it found in other regions? So Diamond Pearl, nope, it is not found in Diamond Pearl at all. It's not a part of Diamond Pearl regional decks as well. Gen 5, nope. Gen 8 is the extremely rare encounter as well. And it's not looking too good for Taylor or Swellow. But is Swellow found in any region? And is Swellow found in like later routes as well, considering they evolve so quickly as well here? Nope, only on route 115. Also, it is found in Route 14 and Giant Chasm as well, but that might be just a small introduced population. Swirl is actually quite endangered as well. Yeah, it has a very tiny range as well. Okay, this one's easy. Reed's concern. Pelipper. Okay, Ringo and Pelipper are found everywhere in multiple regions. Okay, they're basically the tentacle, of most regions. They're found over the water. They're found in your backyard. They're found in the cave somehow. They're found everywhere. Ringo and Pelipper are some of the most common Pokemon since in every region since Generation 3 as well. Yeah. Yeah, they're found almost everywhere in Generation 3. They're found almost everywhere in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. They're even found in Route 13 Undella Town Undella Bay, likely an introduced population. They're also found in Routes 8 and 12 as well. They're found everywhere across Sun and Moon in the Ultra games. They're found everywhere in Sword and Shield. They're also found in even parts of Paldea, too. It's kind of one of the most common Pokemon of all time as well. So Ringo and Pelipper are easy Reed's concerns. We don't need to really be concerned about Pelipper's disappearance anytime soon as well, compared to Swallow, the other regional bird of the game. Yeah. Next we have Gardevoir and its evolution line. I think in Platinum they made the Pokemon, of course, more accessible because the decks of Generation 4 sucked. Because it's only found on one route, and it's a very tiny encounter, which would classify as Pokemon as critically endangered. But in Platinum, it is found much more common, routes 208, 209, and 212 as well here. It's also found on Route 4 as well here. Yeah, and it's found a lot of areas in Sword and Shield. It's also found in Legends Arceus, but that game's in the past, so it also is found in some parts of, yeah. I think when it in the first region, Gardevoir was quite endangered as well, due to certain people, and likely, Gardevoir will likely have its reign will likely be listed as vulnerable, as conservation efforts in Sinnoh have kind of helped save the species as well, become more common as well. And also several areas such as Galar, they are pretty common throughout the entire region as well. So yeah, Gardevoir I think is pretty safe as well. Next is Surskit, one of the most underrated Pokemon of all time as well. Okay. So Surskit is a very rare Pokemon. I know there's the Storm feature in, but Surskit as well. Surskit is a notorious 1% encounter Pokemon. Yeah, everyone really loves the 1% encounter Pokemon, don't they? Okay, 102, 111, 117, and 120 as well. Okay, and they are like a 1% encounter as well. Okay, yeah, what were you thinking, Game Freak? 1% encounter as well. Okay, and they're also found Brookwood Hill at night as well here. And Scarlet Violet, they are found in the parts of Paldea, but I don't know. We gotta see how common they are in Paldea, as Paldea is an open world region as well here. Here, and Surskit is a probability rate of 60%. So, as well. I think Masquerain and its line will be listed as endangered only because they are much more common in Paldea. And that's basically it for the most underrated line and most underrated Pokemon of all time. Then, we skipped the Strimbu line. Okay. So we have Shroomis and Breloom, which we accidentally skipped as well. Okay. So Shroomis and Breloom are only found in Petalburg Woods, which most likely means the Pokemon, likely due to invasive species, likely disappeared throughout the entire region as well. Gen 4, it's not really too common. Gen 5, nope. Gen 6, Gen 7, Gen 8. And you found in a few areas in Paldea. However, I think that it is a critically endangered species. It's only found in a small area as well. It is also found in Scarlet and Violet too, but it is found in a very small range, and yes, the range is likely protected as well here, but it's probably a very, very small range. So critically endangered it is, unfortunately, as well. Yeah. Yeah, next is Shrakoff and its line as well here. Yeah. Yeah, and Shrakoff is only found in Petalburg Woods as well. Yeah, however, it is a bit common in Paldea as well, but we don't know if they're native to Paldea because, again, Pokemon never really elaborates as well. Yeah, so another Pokemon that is listed as critically endangered. Ninjask and Sedinza as well. Yeah, yeah. So Nincada, which we'll be using for this part of the video, obviously here. It's only found in Room 16, 116. However, it is much more common in the Galar region. Of course, there's a huge possibility it is native to the Galar region, but again, it could just be introduced there as well. Again, a while I'm considering the Poke Radar stuff or the bug catching contest to be introduced populations as well, so they're not really native as well. But it's kind of strange. A lot of the Pokemon in Generation 3 are only native to a couple routes as well. Okay, as well. Yeah, and Ninjask is also found in a few areas as well. And yeah, but they're pretty endangered. They're pretty common in the one route they're found in, but then we have Whismur and Exploud as well. I always love Whismur. It's so cute. But we gotta talk about Whismur as well. Yeah. And the game data is not working. I think we'll be done with after Hariyama as well. But Whismur is found Route 16 in Warsworth Tunnel and Victory Road. However, Warsworth Tunnel is exclusively populated by Whismur. Yeah, it is exclusively populated by Whismur as well. Yeah, yeah. It's also found a connecting cave as well. Yeah, But however, it is quite abundant in most of the areas. It's also found in Victory Road with its evolution wild raid, so it lists them as near threatened as well. Then we have Makuhita and Hariyama as well. Yeah. Here's the thing about Makuhita and Hariyama. Before we get to Hariyama, Makuhita is actually introduced to the Aurora region. Yeah, it's actually confirmed by like actual NPC dialogue that Makuhita and Hariyama are actually not supposed to be in Aurora region, so we'll be counting that as an introduced population. It is found in Granite Cave in Victory Road alongside its evolution in Victory Road as well here. As well, it is also found in Route 2 of Sun and Moon. However, that entire population is invasive, so we can't really count that as well. It's also found in Scarlet and Violet as well. Also, I think Makuhita and Hariyama are actually quite common in cave regions, because that's what they're mostly found. So, I'll put them in vulnerable here, as they still have a pretty limited range as well, and they're not really found in any other regions, except for the very invasive subpopulation as well. We already covered the Marrow and Azuro line as well, so we'll skip Azuro. Then we have Nosepass. Yeah, the worst Pokemon of all, one of the worst Pokemon of all time. As well, I'll be grabbing Nosepass goes extinct. Would anyone who missed Nosepass and Pass as well? However, it is native to two regions as its evolution is linked with Mount Coronet as well, which means that Nosepass does exist in both Sinnoh and Hoenn as well. It is found in Granite Cave of a rock smash. However, its real native region area is Mount Coronet, as basically is and Mount Coronet is, if people don't realize, Mount Coronet is huge as well. It's a huge area as well. And Black and White 2 is also found in Silestone Cave and Clay Tunnel and underground ruins as well here. It's also found in Ekara outskirts as well here. And but let's see how common it is in Mount Coronet. It could just be a 1% encounter for all we know as well. But Mount Coronet is a huge area of Sinnoh. It's a huge, massive area. It's not like one tiny route. It's an entire mountain range as well. It is Nosepass even nope, it's a 5% encounter, of course. Not a very common encounter as well. So Nosepass is got the sword end of the stick. It's with going in the endangered list as well. Not very common. Also only found Rock Smash, which means either the Pokemon's elusive or it's endangered. Most likely endangered as well. And of course, we'll go to the last Pokemon we'll talk about for today for Generation 3, and we'll cover the rest in another video. And that is Skitty and Delcatty as well. So Delcatty is most likely not found in the wild because of weird reasons, as well, because stones do not exist in the wild. Moonstones don't exist apparently in the wild, so that's the only reason it evolves. But is Skitty found in any other region? And so I'm just starting to realize that Game Freak kind of neglects hoenn Pokemon. They kind of neglect hoenn Pokemon. And so Skitty is found on one route with a 1% encounter, but it's found in any other regions as well. Route 4, it is found as well here. And it's critically endangered. Unless Skitty and Delcatty are domesticated, not looking too good for hoenn. Hoenn only has so far 3 least concerned Pokemon. I really think that Pokemon conversationists should really try to preserve the Hoennian species way more as well. But we'll get to the rest of the Pokemon in another video as well. Which is a lot. We only gone through the early game Pokemon as well. Goodbye.